Welcome, 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 welcome. This is Dee with the Single Mom Unguided Life, where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between. And I bring you guys along with me to hold me accountable. I am all excited. It's the second day of fall. Fall is my favorite season of all. So I get all the feels and all the warmth, and I just want to give it to everybody that I'm surrounded by. Additionally, we are going to set up our October budget, and that gives me even more of those good feelings, because when I set up my budget for the upcoming months, I know that there are new opportunities to reach new goals, and that's what we're here for. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We always start with our planner. This is a Ray Dunn planner, and we're gonna open up to October. So my October budget runs from September 24th to October 22nd. I only have 2 paydays that's going to be dedicated to this month, on September 25th and October 9th. I also want to bring your attention to a couple things. The first thing is I did decide to move my credit card up $1 because I did add some protection to it, just in case I have to stop working due to any circumstance. This company is able to cover it if necessary, and when I don't have a balance, I don't have to pay it. So right now I have a small balance, so I'm paying that off at this time. So I moved that up to $36. Additionally, the cable bill. So I did add a program in the middle of the cycle for September. So I have a prorated charge as well as my normal charge and the additional charge of the package that I added. So I just did an estimate of $40. I haven't received the bill as of yet, so I am using the date from last month and the estimated amount to do at this time. As well as I haven't received a notification about my phone bill as of yet, so I'm using the day from last month in the amount. I know it's going to be a little bit more because my son did add a phone, and what we came to agreement with was that he was going to pay the difference, because when I upgraded his phone the last time, I informed him that I will no longer upgrade his phone if there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with his phone. It's in good condition. He just wanted to upgrade, so that's out of your pocket, buddy. I haven't received notification about my medical debt bill, but I always pay $60.58. And I haven't received notification for my insurance, so I'm using the date from last month, and I'm using the regular amount, not the discounted amount that I received. So that's what we have on here. As well as underneath my to-do list is, right now I have my medicine. I bumped that up $1 because the medicine is coming over a little bit what I budget. As well as we have my tithes and offerings at $160 each paycheck, my subscription at 99¢, and then I have a medical bill that's due at the end of this month of $343.37. Because it falls into our October budget, that's why I'm budgeting for it during this time. This was for services that was rendered back in August. All right, so this is how the planner layout looks, noting that we have the yellow for the first payday and the orange for the second. So I'm just gonna put that up there, and then we're just gonna get over to our monthly budget overview, and we're gonna put our head in here, October, and then we're gonna set some financial goals. I am going to continue with saving $50 from my unbudgeted. I think that helps me with not spending that category as much, because I want to show progress, and if I keep spending, I never see that progress. So I'm going to continue with that, so I'm excited for that. The next thing is that I am going to work on sending at least $275 towards the current debt that I'm working on, which is the medical debt. So I have come up with a plan. It took me long enough, but I have come up with a plan that I need to work towards in order to pay this off by the date that I set for myself. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill out the expense trackers here, and we'll go from there. Unsolicited fact about me: I love fall because of sweaters and boots. It just brings me so much comfort. Unfortunately, I live in North Carolina, which means I can leave the house at 6:30 a.m. and it's 30 degrees. And when I step out of the building from work at 3 p.m., it is 80 degrees. So layering has been my go-to for my fall and winter wardrobe. I was able to successfully transition my closet from my spring and summer wardrobe to my fall and winter wardrobe. So I'm so excited about that. So comment below your favorite season and why. I'm very interested in finding out. Now to the budget. All right, so this is what we're looking like for our expenses. So of course I'm going to go ahead and highlight so I know which bills should be paid by which paycheck. So that is the current ones. And then we have our tithes and offering, and we have our subscription. Okay. So then for the second paycheck, we're going to do the credit card. I'm going to do basically every other bill that's left. It's in the medicine and here, and this medical bill is actually the first one. So yeah, so we have that going. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that aside. And so what's new this month for my setup is that I am using KeAmber Vaughn's budget pre-plan instead of the Dave Ramsey allocated spending forms. I just found that I just want a more condensed binder, and this will help me with condensing that by less sheets. It does the same thing that his plan does by listing the bills based on which paycheck and then determining what you have left to work with. So I'm fine with that. So what we're going to do is go ahead and indicate our 2 paydays, which is going to be 9/25 and then 10/9. So for the first paycheck, we have, and I hope you guys can see that, we have the base of $1,600. Additionally, we have to pull from our sinking fund of $343.37. We have to account for any rollover that is expected. So from the month before, we pulled in $51.79, and our goal was to save $50. So I'm just going to add that to it. So that's what we have working with the first paycheck. So that's $2,045.16. All right. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and I always feel like I can't figure out the best lighting for you guys to see everything as well as me see everything, but that should be good. So now let me go ahead and calculate what's remaining after. So this is what the first paycheck is looking like. I have a remaining $613.40 that I need to dedicate to my variable expenses, and I went ahead and listed them as well. So I know that I do plan on doing something in the month of October, like going to an apple orchard possibly, but I don't feel like it's going to break the bank of the fund money. So I'm just going to leave the fund money at $50 total. So I'm going to split it up $25 each paycheck. Then for gifts, I have no gifts that I need to give in the month of October. I use this as like a cashless envelope and not a sinking fund. I don't work towards that. It's much easier when I do it this way, so I don't have to, I have a set amount that I pay for each gift regardless. So yeah, so there we go with that. And then for groceries, there's not going to be any changes to that. So we're still going to do the $180 in the beginning and the $160 in the second. Then for household, we're going to make no changes. I don't see anything that I would need that would cost out of budget. For personal, we are going to bump that up to $160. I am going to do $100 the first paycheck and $60 the second paycheck. For restaurants, I decided to move that up to $30. So that's $15 each paycheck. And that's only because I find that when I'm doing my side gig, I am going to restaurants more. So I just want to be able to cover that. So gas, no changes in gas, still $30 each paycheck. I am going to work harder in determining a better budget for my side income to be included in the gas and car maintenance portion. But for right now, I'm not going to make any changes to my current budget. So for car maintenance, it's going to be $50, and that's $25 each paycheck. For property, still going to be $15, so that's $0 the first one and $15 the next. Nothing will be given to Papa's sinking fund, nor vacation, nor medical at this time. So let's go ahead and see what we have left out of the first paycheck after we pay for our variable expenses. Another fun fact, I love hard apple cider and cinnamon donuts. And I found an apple orchard that does both, that I've been going to for the last 2 years. And I tell you, they are to live for. Another reason why I love fall. All right, so we have $198.40 that is going to be remaining for the first paycheck that needs to still have a name to it. So we'll work on that shortly. So the next thing we're going to go to is our paycheck number 2. There's nothing that needs to be added from sinking funds or savings to this particular paycheck. So we're going to start off with our base of $1,600. So we have $161.88 left from our first paycheck. We have $198.40 left in our second paycheck. What or how I determine where this money needs to go is based off of these categories: savings, extra debt, payments, and my checking buffer. How I get to this is I use KeAmber Vaughn's income allocation strategy. Okay, so it's basically you take your income. So I'm going to do that 2045 16 plus 1600, so that's 3645 16, and then you take your fixed expenses, and that is everything that's up there. So we're just gonna calculate that real quick. So that's $2,499.88. And you actually take that away from your income. So that's 3,645.16. So it leaves me with $1,145.28. And she refers to this as your net income because this is really the amount you have to work with, that you really have to plan for, okay? So the next thing is you look at your variable expenses, and my variable expenses is this here. So that's $785. And you actually divide that into your net income, and it gives you a decimal, which you convert into a percentage. And so right now I'm sitting at 68%. I don't round up or down because the second digit is even, so that's where I want it to be. So if you're out of debt, you round to the nearest 5%. If you in debt, you round to the nearest 10%. So in my case, I just always add 10% buffer on top of what I've already determined. Now, if you're a mathematician, you may be like, no, that's not right. But that's how I view it as the best way that helps me work on building a buffer as well as being consistent. So I'm going to bump that up to 78%. Okay. So you take the 1145.28 and you times that by 78. And it gives me $893, and I round up to 32 cents. So I take the 1145.28 and I minus 893.32, and that gives me $251.96 still not accounted for. I know I need to send something to savings, and I know I need to send something to debt, and I just divide it by 2 and send everything equally to both. So 125.98, 125.98. So each of these is 11% of my net income. So I just go ahead and I input that information here. So I am going to be sending $125.98 to saving, $125.98 to extra debt payment. Now the buffer. Now we have the $893.32. That includes our variable expense in the buffer. Our variable expense is at $785, so I'm going to minus. So my buffer is actually $108.32. So yeah. So like I said, that streamlined sheet that I honestly like. So I'm going to continue to use that. I'm going to slide that up there. I did complete this part already. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this part and get this out the way. And I am going to, oops, it's actually 660 because this is 60 and this is 50. Nothing going here. 15 going here. So that, including that, is 785. Savings is 125.98. Extra debt payment is 125.98, and the buffer is 108.32. Okay, so let's see where we at with that, because I always want to make sure that every dollar has a purpose in my budget. So I'm going to ensure that by making sure that all of this on this sheet equals to $3,645.16 that I'm estimating. So let's just add that all together. 1738, 29, 761.59, 660, 485, 28. Yes, so $3,645.16. So we're starting off October with a zero budget, and we're going to bring back over our monthly budget overview sheet so we can fill this out. As always, the base income starts at the $1,600 each paycheck, so that's $3,200. My rollover is the 50 plus the 51.79, so that's 101.79. The savings will be 343.37. All right, so that's good. So I know we should be good down here. Cash envelopes is 660. Sinking funds is the 50, 60, and 15. I don't know why I used a calculator, but I did. Savings is 125.98. Extra debt is 125.98. And the buffer is 108.32. And all the numbers check out fine. So we have 36.45.16. So for our transaction log, the dates are from September 24th to October 22nd. For our spending tracker, it is the same dates for our envelope system. For the weekly check-in, the first week is September 24th to October 1st, October 2nd to October 8th, October 9th to October 5th, and October 16th. I think October 9th to October 15th, October 16th to October 22nd. Those same dates correspond here as well. And the budget is set up. It is all set up for us at this time. So I thank you for watching. If you are a current subscriber, I really do appreciate you subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. I greatly appreciate that at this time. If you guys can go ahead and hit that like button to continue to see content from me. And peace out.